Ladies and gentlemen, loneliness is frequently misunderstood. Many believe it signifies a failure to connect, but for a woman without friends, it can be a conscious decision, a journey of resilience and fortitude. There is strength in walking alone, even in a society that honors social bonds. She doesn't require validation from others to determine her value. Her solitude isn't a void, it's a blank canvas where she envisions her dreams, cultivates her bravery, and uncovers her true self. There's something extraordinary about a woman who can remain serene in the silence, unperturbed by the lack of applause. Her strength isn't gauged by the number of people around her, but by how confidently she maneuvers through life independently. Each day she faces the same obstacles as anyone else, yet she bears the weight of societal judgment. A world that murmurs, "Why is she alone?" But she understands better than to let these whispers shape her identity. In her solitude, she finds clarity. She doesn't pursue friendships to fill a gap. Instead, she confronts the emptiness and learns to accept it. It takes bravery to walk a path devoid of the comfort that companionship offers, but in that darkness, she illuminates her own path. People often misinterpret her strength, assuming she must be broken, damaged, or too difficult to love. The reality is that she has chosen herself. Her journey isn't about being rejected by others, it's about embracing herself. She has determined that her time, energy, and life are too precious to squander on superficial relationships or toxic individuals. She doesn't compromise for less than she deserves because she recognizes that loneliness is a better companion than insincere friends. Inside her lies a world that many will never comprehend. Her thoughts are expansive, her dreams unspoken, and her determination unwavering. While others seek diversion in social gatherings, she seeks personal growth in solitude. Every moment spent alone is an investment in herself, a step toward becoming the woman she was always destined to be. She reads, learns, and reflects, honing her mind and fortifying her spirit. Being alone doesn't equate to loneliness, it signifies focus. Her life isn't empty due to a lack of people, it's fulfilling because it holds meaning. She doesn't seek validation from social media likes or incessant phone calls to feel alive. Her joy stems from small victories, finishing a book that imparted new knowledge, rising early to watch the sunrise, or taking a walk and listening to the world around her. These moments, seemingly trivial to others, are her treasures. She has constructed a fortress of peace around herself, and not everyone is invited inside. The woman without friends isn't weak, she's a warrior. She has faced battles of rejection, betrayal, and loneliness, emerging stronger each time. She doesn't collapse under the weight of isolation, she rises above it. In a world that teaches women to depend on others, she has learned to depend on herself. She is her own best friend, her own cheerleader, and her own guide. She understands that true strength originates from within, not from others' approval. When you look at her, you might not perceive the silent struggle she has endured. You might not notice the tears she shed behind closed doors or the nights she spent questioning if something was wrong with her. However, those moments have shaped her into who she is today, a woman who doesn't need a crowd to feel complete. Her solitude has bestowed upon her a gift that many never receive: self-awareness. She knows who she is and isn't afraid to stand alone. She doesn't envy those surrounded by people because she understands that many friendships are based on convenience rather than genuine connection. She observes the smiles that conceal insecurity, the laughter that hides pain, and gatherings that prioritize appearances over authenticity. She opts for quality over quantity, even if it means standing alone, because she recognizes that being surrounded by people who don't truly see her is far lonelier than being by herself. Her journey isn't easy, but it is fulfilling. Every step she takes brings her closer to freedom from societal expectations, freedom from the need for validation, and freedom to be herself. She has learned to cherish her own company, to find joy in her own thoughts, and to build a life she is proud of. She doesn't wait for others to make her happy, she creates her own happiness. The world tells her she needs friends to be whole, but she knows better. She doesn't require anyone else to complete her because she is already whole. She doesn't gauge her worth by the number of people who want to be around her. Instead, she measures it by how true she is to herself. She has discovered the beauty of independence, the strength of self-reliance, and the peace that comes from being unapologetically herself. People might pity her, but she doesn't need their sympathy. She is not a victim of her circumstances, she is the architect of her destiny. She has chosen to tread a different path, one that demands bravery and resilience. She doesn't allow the world's expectations to determine her choices. Instead, she listens to her own heart and follows its guidance, even if it leads her away from the crowd. There's a certain magic in her solitude that enables her to perceive the world in ways others cannot. She notices the beauty in the small things, the lessons in challenges, the opportunities in struggles. While others are distracted by the noise of the world, she is attuned to the whispers of her soul. She doesn't need a crowd to feel alive because she has discovered life within herself. The woman without friends is not someone to be underestimated. She possesses a depth that many will never grasp, a strength that few will ever attain, and a courage that many will never admire. She is proof that you don't need a tribe to thrive and that you can construct a life of meaning and purpose on your own. She isn't afraid to stand alone because she knows she is never truly alone. She has herself, and that is sufficient. Her story is one of triumph, not tragedy. It is a narrative of choosing self-worth over societal approval, inner peace over external validation, and authenticity over conformity. She isn't defined by her lack of friends, but by her abundance of courage, resilience, and self-love. She is a woman who walks alone not because she must, but because she chooses to. Her path may be quiet, but it is filled with purpose. A woman without friends isn't seeking distractions or shallow connections. She is pursuing her dreams. She has realized that the energy she invests in the wrong people depletes the strength she needs to build her future. Therefore, she conserves her energy, reserving it for what truly matters. While others spread themselves thin trying to please everyone, she concentrates on pleasing herself. She is creating a life that mirrors her values, her goals, and her truth. She understands that loneliness can sometimes feel burdensome, but she has mastered the art of carrying it gracefully. It is in these solitary moments that she uncovers her true self. She doesn't flee from her feelings or hide from her pain. She confronts them head on. She knows that growth arises from facing difficult things, not avoiding them. Thus, she allows herself to feel every emotion, to sit with every thought, and to learn from every experience. She isn't afraid of being alone because she recognizes that it is in the silence that she grows stronger. Her strength intimidates many because it is rare in a world where people depend on each other for validation. She stands as a testament to the power of self-reliance. She doesn't need anyone to affirm that she is enough. She already knows it. Her confidence isn't loud or boastful. It's quiet and unshakable. She enters every room with her head held high, not because she is superior to others, but because she knows she is enough just as she is. She has learned to find joy in the little things. While others are busy chasing grand dreams or worrying about others' opinions, she finds happiness in life's simplicity, a good book, a walk in nature, a moment of silence. These are the things that bring her peace. She doesn't require extravagant vacations or grand celebrations to feel alive. Her life is full because she has learned to appreciate the beauty in the small moments that others overlook. The world often views her as an enigma. People wonder how she can be so content without friends, so at peace without constant social interaction. But they don't understand the journey she has undertaken, the battles she has fought, or the strength she has gained. Her life isn't empty due to a lack of people, it is full because it is her own. She has built a life that reflects her values, her dreams, and her truth. She doesn't need others to validate her feelings or confirm her decisions. She trusts herself completely, knowing that her intuition is her greatest guide, and she follows it without hesitation. While others second-guess themselves or seek approval from others, she moves forward with confidence. She doesn't need anyone to tell her she's on the right path because she feels it in her heart. There's a tranquility in her that stems from knowing she is enough. She doesn't rush through life trying to keep up with others. She moves at her own pace, confident in her own timing. She understands that life isn't a race and refuses to let society's expectations dictate her journey. She is in control of her own destiny and takes every step with intention. The world might not celebrate her, but she doesn't require its applause. She knows that true success isn't about recognition, it's about living a life that feels authentic to who you are. She doesn't measure her worth by the number of people who admire her or by how many friends she has. Her worth comes from within, from the understanding that she is living authentically and unapologetically. While others pursue relationships to fill their void, she seeks her purpose. She understands that genuine fulfillment doesn't originate from others but from within herself. She has discovered a mission that bestows meaning to her life, and she chases it with all her might. Her days are imbued with passion, not because someone else provides her with a reason to rise each morning, but because she has unearthed that reason internally. She has encountered rejection and betrayal, yet she doesn't allow those experiences to weaken her. Instead, she transforms them into lessons and opportunities to grow and fortify herself. She recognizes that every individual who has exited her life has imparted something valuable. She doesn't cling to bitterness or resentment. She releases the past and concentrates on constructing a brighter future. From an outside perspective, her life might appear simple, but it is rich and intricate internally. She harbors dreams she is diligently working towards, goals she is accomplishing, and a vision for her future that propels her forward. She doesn't require anyone else to render her life meaningful because she has discovered that meaning within herself. She exemplifies that you don't need a vast circle to cultivate a beautiful life. All you need is a strong sense of self. The woman without friends has mastered being her own support system. She doesn't depend on others to lift her up when she stumbles. She lifts herself. She doesn't wait for someone to inspire her. She inspires herself. She doesn't seek someone else to bring her happiness. She creates her own joy. She is self-sufficient in every aspect, and that is her superpower. She understands that the world often misconstrues her. People might assume she must be lonely, sad, or broken, but she doesn't let their opinions sway her. She knows who she is and recognizes her worth. She doesn't need others to validate her existence because she has already affirmed it for herself. Her life is her own, and she lives it on her terms. Her solitude is not a weakness, it is a strength. It has taught her resilience, independence, and self-love. It has granted her the freedom to live authentically and the courage to stand alone. She doesn't perceive her lack of friends as a problem, but as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become the best version of herself. The woman without friends is a force to be reckoned with. She is not defined by her relationships, but by her character, her values, and her strength. She serves as a reminder that you don't need a crowd to be powerful, that you don't need others to determine your worth, and that you don't need anyone else to complete you. She is whole on her own, and that is her greatest power. She stands tall not because life has been easy, but because she has learned how to endure every storm. A woman without friends understands what it's like to feel the sting of isolation, but instead of allowing it to break her, she has used it to build herself up. Each struggle has become a brick in the foundation of her strength. She doesn't crumble under pressure, she thrives in it, proving to herself time and again that she is capable of overcoming anything. Her journey hasn't been without pain, but she carries her scars with pride. Each one tells a story of resilience, of battles fought and won. She doesn't hide from her past or attempt to erase her struggles. She embraces them as part of who she is. These experiences have shaped her into the woman she is today, strong, fearless, and unshakable. While the world often equates solitude with weakness, she knows better. Her solitude is her sanctuary, a place where she can reflect, grow, and dream. It is in the quiet moments that she finds her greatest clarity. She doesn't need the noise of others to drown out her thoughts. She welcomes the silence because it allows her to hear her own voice. Her days are not empty, they are full of purpose. She fills her time with things that matter to her, learning, creating, and pursuing her goals. She doesn't waste her energy on meaningless conversations or superficial connections. Every moment is an opportunity for growth, and she doesn't take a single one for granted. She has learned to be her own biggest cheerleader. In a world that often tries to tear people down, she builds herself up. She speaks to herself with kindness and encouragement, knowing that her inner dialogue shapes her reality. She doesn't wait for others to support her. She provides herself with the support she needs. Her independence is her strength, but it doesn't mean she doesn't value connection. She understands the importance of meaningful relationships, but refuses to settle for anything less than authentic. She would rather be alone than surrounded by people who don't genuinely care about her. Her standards are high, not because she is difficult, but because she knows her worth. She doesn't need a crowd to feel validated. While others may seek attention and approval from the world, she finds her validation within herself. She knows that her value isn't determined by how many people like her or follow her. It's determined by her character, her actions, and her integrity. She lives by her own standards, not by societal norms. Her solitude has taught her the importance of self-care. She knows how to nurture her mind, body, and soul. She prioritizes her well-being because she understands that she cannot pour from an empty cup. She takes the time to rest, to recharge, and to engage in activities that bring her joy. She is not afraid to put herself first because she knows that her happiness matters. The woman without friends is not bitter or angry, she is at peace. She doesn't hold grudges against those who have hurt her or blame others for her circumstances. She takes responsibility for her life and focuses on what she can control. She chooses to let go of negativity and embrace positivity because she knows that her mindset shapes her reality. Her strength lies in her ability to adapt. Life hasn't always gone as planned, but she has learned to roll with the punches. She doesn't dwell on the past or worry about the future. She focuses on the present moment. She knows that the only thing she can control is her attitude, and she chooses to approach life with courage and optimism. She has learned to trust herself completely. She doesn't second-guess her decisions or doubt her abilities. She knows that she is capable of handling whatever comes her way. While others may seek guidance from those around them, she turns inward, trusting her intuition to lead her. Her confidence in herself is unshakable. Her life is a testament to the power of resilience. She has faced challenges that would have broken others, yet she has emerged stronger. She doesn't let her circumstances define her, she defines herself. She is proof that you don't need anyone else to create a meaningful, fulfilling life. All you need is the courage to be true to yourself. The woman without friends is a rare breed in a world that fears solitude. She doesn't conform to societal expectations or follow the crowd. She blazes her own trail. Her life may not resemble everyone else's, but that's what makes it so beautiful. She is living proof that there is strength in standing alone. Her story is one of triumph, not tragedy. While others may view her lack of friends as a loss, she sees it as a gift. It has granted her the freedom to live authentically, to focus on her goals, and to become the best version of herself. She doesn't perceive herself as incomplete because she knows she is whole. Her life is a masterpiece in progress. She is constantly learning, growing, and evolving. She doesn't settle for mediocrity or accept less than she deserves. She's always striving to reach new heights and achieve new dreams. She understands that the journey is just as important as the destination. and she embraces every step with gratitude and determination. Her journey is one of quiet transformation. While others seek recognition for their achievements, she is content with the satisfaction of knowing she has grown. She doesn't need applause or validation because her progress speaks for itself. Every step she takes forward is a reminder of her strength and determination. She has mastered the art of resilience. When life knocks her down, she doesn't remain there, she rises back up, stronger and more determined than before. She doesn't let failure define her. Instead, she uses it as a stepping stone to success. She knows that every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Her solitude has taught her to value her time. She doesn't waste it on things that don't matter or on people who don't appreciate her. She is intentional with every moment, dedicating her energy to pursuits that bring her joy and fulfillment. She understands that time is her most precious resource, and she refuses to squander it. She has become her own source of inspiration. While others may look to external role models, she finds motivation within herself. She draws strength from her own experiences and uses them as fuel to keep moving forward. She doesn't need anyone else to light her path because she carries her own torch. Her life is not about fitting in, it's about standing out. She doesn't conform to societal norms or follow trends just to be accepted. She embraces her uniqueness and uses it as a source of power. She knows that her individuality is what makes her special, and she refuses to compromise it for anyone. She has learned the importance of setting boundaries. She doesn't allow others to take advantage of her or drain her energy. She knows when to say no and isn't afraid to do so. Her boundaries are a testament to her self-respect and her commitment to maintaining her well-being. In essence, the woman without friends exemplifies the strength and beauty of self-reliance. She navigates life with grace and determination, proving that true happiness and fulfillment come from within. Her story is an inspiration to anyone who feels alone or misunderstood, demonstrating that independence and self-love are powerful tools for creating a meaningful and enriched life. She stands as a beacon of resilience, showing that it is possible to thrive without the need for a large social circle. Her journey underscores the importance of knowing oneself, valuing one's own company, and finding purpose and joy within. She is a living embodiment of the idea that the most profound relationships are the ones we cultivate with ourselves, and through that, she has built a life that is not only beautiful but also deeply satisfying and truly her own. Her boundaries mirror her self-respect, and she upholds them with assurance and elegance. Her strength transcends the physical and emotional realms. It encompasses her mental resilience as well. She has cultivated a mindset characterized by perseverance, determination, and optimism. She refuses to allow negativity to take root in her thoughts, instead concentrating on the positive and trusting in her capacity to surmount any obstacle. Her mental toughness stands as her most valuable asset. She doesn't live her life for others, she lives it for herself. While some might seek validation from friends, family, or society, she strives solely to remain true to her personal values and beliefs. She understands that her happiness is her own responsibility and doesn't depend on others to provide it. Her solitude isn't a weakness, it's a strength, granting her the time and space to truly understand herself. She has learned to love herself unconditionally and to accept every aspect of her being. Her self-love is steadfast because it originates from within, not from others' opinions. She has developed a profound sense of gratitude for her life. While others might dwell on their shortcomings, she chooses to appreciate what she possesses. She values the simple pleasures of life and finds beauty in the small moments. Her gratitude serves as a continual source of positivity and inspiration. Her journey isn't about proving anything to anyone else, it's about affirming to herself that she can achieve her goals. She sets objectives, works diligently, and accomplishes them not for recognition, but because she knows her own capabilities. Her motivation is intrinsic, driving her forward each day. She has learned to trust the process, understanding that success doesn't materialize overnight and that every step forward, no matter how minor, is progress. She exercises patience in her journey, recognizing that the finest things in life require time. Her confidence in herself and her path remains unshaken. Her life exemplifies the power of self-reliance. She doesn't depend on others to make her happy, to motivate her, or to validate her. She has mastered the ability to provide all of these for herself. Her independence is a source of pride and a testament to her strength. She doesn't fixate on what she lacks. Instead, she focuses on what she can create. The absence of friends hasn't hindered her, it has propelled her forward. She has utilized her solitude as a chance to construct a life she loves, filled with purpose, passion, and peace. Her story isn't one of loneliness, it's one of empowerment. She has demonstrated that you don't need others to lead a fulfilling and meaningful life. All that's required is the courage to be yourself, the determination to persevere, and the strength to stand alone. She carries herself with a quiet confidence born from knowing she has faced the worst and emerged stronger. A woman without friends doesn't need to justify her strength to anyone. It is evident in how she conducts herself. Every step she takes is a proclamation of her resilience and self-belief. Her life reflects her choices, not her circumstances. She refuses to allow external factors to dictate her happiness or success. Instead, she takes charge of her destiny, making intentional decisions that align with her values and aspirations. She is the architect of her own life. She doesn't fear rejection because she understands it doesn't reflect her worth. She recognizes that not everyone will appreciate or comprehend her, and that's acceptable. She would rather remain true to herself than pretend to be someone she's not, just to gain acceptance. Her solitude has taught her the art of self-reflection. She knows herself deeply, her strengths, weaknesses, dreams, and fears. This self-awareness provides her with a clarity that many lack. She doesn't get lost in others' opinions or expectations because she knows exactly who she is. She has learned to find joy in her own company. While others might rely on social interactions for happiness, she creates her own. She reads, writes, explores, and creates, finding fulfillment in her passions. She doesn't wait for others to make her happy because she understands that happiness is something she cultivates within herself. Her independence isn't merely a choice, it's a necessity. She knows that relying too heavily on others can lead to disappointment, so she has built a life where she is self-sufficient. She takes pride in her ability to care for herself and navigate her own path in the world. She doesn't compare herself to others. While many become entangled in the trap of comparison, she concentrates on her own journey. She understands that everyone's path is unique and that comparing hers to someone else's is futile. She measures her success by her own standards, not by anyone else's. Her story is one of transformation. She has turned the pain of isolation into a source of strength. She has confronted her fears, overcome her insecurities, and constructed a life she is proud of. Her journey demonstrates that even the most challenging circumstances can lead to remarkable growth. She doesn't allow others' opinions to define her. She knows that people will always have something to say, but she doesn't let their words impact her. She is secure in who she is and doesn't seek approval from anyone. Her sense of self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. She has learned to embrace the unknown. While others might fear change or uncertainty, she welcomes it. She views every new challenge as an opportunity to grow and every unexplored path as a chance to discover something new about herself. Her courage remains steadfast. Her life isn't about impressing others, it's about realizing her own potential. She doesn't pursue superficial success or recognition, she focuses on what genuinely matters to her. She understands that true success arises from living a life of purpose and authenticity. She has become a beacon of inspiration, not because she seeks to inspire others, but because her story naturally does so. Her resilience, independence, and strength are qualities that others admire. She doesn't strive to be a role model, she simply lives her life and her example speaks for itself. She doesn't perceive herself as a victim of her circumstances, she sees herself as a victor. She has taken control of her narrative and refused to let anyone else write her story. Her life stands as a testament to the power of perseverance and self-determination. Her journey is far from complete. She knows that life will continue to present challenges, but she is prepared for them. She doesn't fear the future because she has equipped herself for whatever comes her way. Her strength, resilience, and self-belief will sustain her. She stands as a symbol of what is possible when one refuses to let circumstances define them. A woman without friends is not a woman without value. She is a woman who has discovered her worth within herself. Her story isn't one of loss but of triumph, a reminder that strength, independence, and self-love are the greatest companions anyone could ever have. She has realized that being alone isn't a punishment but a privilege. In these moments of solitude, she has uncovered her greatest strengths, found her deepest truths, and nurtured her dreams. She doesn't view isolation as a barrier but as a gateway to self-discovery. Her journey has taught her to be unapologetically herself. She doesn't alter her personality to fit in or compromise her values to please others. She knows that the right people will accept her for who she is, and she refuses to sacrifice her authenticity for superficial acceptance. She has developed a vision for her life that is uniquely hers. While others might follow the crowd or live according to societal expectations, she forges her own path. Her life stands as a testament to her courage to dream big and pursue those dreams, no matter how unconventional they may appear. She doesn't depend on others for validation. She has learned to affirm herself through her own efforts, achievements, and values. She recognizes her worth, and it isn't determined by the number of people who like her or the amount of attention she garners. Her strength lies in her ability to adapt. Life doesn't always unfold as planned, but she doesn't allow that to discourage her. Instead, she discovers new paths, creates new opportunities, and continues to move forward. Her resilience is unshakable because she trusts in her ability to overcome. She has made peace with her past. Rather than letting it haunt her, she has learned from it, grown from it, and used it to build a better future. She understands that her past doesn't define her, it's her actions in the present that matter most. Her life proves that you don't need a large social circle to find happiness. She has discovered joy in the small, meaningful moments, watching the sunrise, pursuing her passions, and simply being at peace with herself. Her happiness emanates from within, not from external validation. She doesn't let rejection deter her. Each time someone walks away, she uses it as an opportunity to grow stronger. She understands that not everyone is meant to remain in her life, and she has learned to let go with grace and dignity. Her solitude has become her sanctuary, providing her with quiet moments to recharge, reflect, and reconnect with herself. She doesn't fear being alone because she has learned to cherish her own company. Her solitude isn't loneliness, it's self-love in its purest form. She has become a master of self-discipline. Without the distractions of a bustling social life, she has concentrated her energy on her goals and dreams. She has established habits that lead to success and eliminated anything that doesn't serve her purpose. Her discipline underpins her achievements. She understands that life isn't about what you possess, but about who you become. While others might chase material possessions or fleeting popularity, she prioritizes her personal growth and inner peace. She knows that true wealth resides in the strength of her character and the depth of her soul. She doesn't allow her circumstances to define her. While some might view her as a woman without friends, she sees herself as a woman with limitless potential. Her life isn't about what she lacks, but about what she creates, and she is resolute in her determination to build a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. She has grasped the importance of forgiveness not for others, but for herself. She doesn't cling to grudges or dwell on past hurts. Instead, she releases negativity and focuses on the present. Her capacity to forgive has liberated her to live a life of peace and positivity. Her resilience inspires others even if they don't vocalize it. She doesn't seek recognition, but her story is one that touches hearts. Her strength, independence, and self-reliance serve as a reminder that it's possible to rise above any challenge and thrive. She has redefined what it means to be strong. Strength isn't about the number of people surrounding you or how loudly you can speak. It's about how you carry yourself in the face of adversity, how you persevere when the odds are against you, and how you love yourself when no one else does.